Hi, thank you for joining me today. What if I told you that you have the power to increase student attention and participation and to reduce depression and poor self-image, and even cut back on the number of teen-involved car accidents? What if I told you that you could do all of this in just 1 hour? Would you dedicate 1 hour of for your students and children? Research is suggesting that by delaying school start times by just 1 hour, that is beneficial to the development in teens and adolescents because it improves focus and decision making, and it reduces depression and suicidal tendencies. We're going to discuss how the lack of sleep affects punctuality and attendance and attention in students, and what studies have revealed about later start times and their relationship to teen drivers. We will also learn how the lack of sleep in adolescent years affects self-image later in life. Now, according to the National Sleep Foundation, sleep deprivation affects most adolescents and leads to poor impulse control, impaired cognitive function, and poor test scores. The University of Minnesota conducted a study in which 6 high schools delayed their morning startup time by 1 hour and found that there was a significant decrease in tardies and unexcused absences. There was also an increase in GPAs and standardized test scores. I'd like to direct your attention to the graph here. Now, starting at age 11, the math scores improved 1.2%. At age 12, it increased 0.75%. At age 13, there was a 1.95% increase. And by age 14, there was a 3.7% increase. Likewise, in reading, there was no significant increase at 11-year-olds. At 12, it was a 0.2% increase. At 13, 0.7% increase. And at 14, a 2.8% increase. Now, what this showed was the older the children got, the more significant the increase in that extra hour of sleep, as noted by Edwards. Now, during that test period, car accidents involving teen drivers also dropped an astounding 70%, and that was credited to sleepy drivers not being behind the wheel. In 2004, School Start Time, an organization dedicated to pushing school start times back nationwide to no earlier than 8 o'clock, conducted a study of 2,259 adolescents and teens and reported that 14% with less than 6 hours of sleep per night reported more instances of low self-esteem and were more likely to develop depression later in life. And many teens with depression experience sleep problems such as insomnia, where they can't go to sleep, or hypersomnia, where they sleep too much. And these go hand in hand with not getting enough sleep. Now, later in life, depression left untreated can lead to suicidal thoughts or actions. And according to the American Academy of Child and Adolescent Psychiatry, suicide is the 6th leading cause of death for 5 to 15-year-olds, and it is the 3rd leading cause of death for 15 to 24-year-olds. Research suggests that delaying school start times by just 1 hour is beneficial to the development in teens and adolescents because it improves focus and decision making. It reduces depression and suicidal tendencies and thoughts. We have discussed the reduction in tardies, absenteeism, and teen-involved car accidents, and the increase in grades and test scores. Extra sleep can also be a preventative for depression, poor self-image, and suicide. Now, armed with this knowledge, can you answer the question I asked you earlier in the affirmative? Can you give 1 hour to save a child? Sleep doesn't cost anything. Now, there are many that want to implement school programs, but they just don't know how. There are some questions as how would transportation be affected? The transportation is a workaround. Many schools have adopted programs where the bus schedule will be picking up children living within 3/4 of a mile and dropping them off. Children living closer can walk. After-school programs generally work within the school guidelines and the school hours. So not many children will be affected by it. So there really is no reason for schools not to use the new guidelines. Pediatrics and other programs are urging schools to use these new guidelines for starting schools at these times. I urge you to consider these new guidelines and make your consideration carefully. These are your child's lives we're talking about. And I thank you for your time and attention. Have a wonderful day.